Thousands of people are staging what they call a parking protest. It's happening in South Weber. They're opposed to a mix of high-density housing and also commercial space. Kyle Harvey is live for us. And Kyle, why are the cars? What's going on?
Well, I would say it's even probably more than dozens of people now, probably verging on hundreds. This is probably a pretty strange sight for people that are on Highway 89 coming home from work. There's more than 100 cars, I would say, lined up end to end all the way down this frontage road as far as we can see this way, and if you pan down this way as far as you can see looking off to the north. This is usually a completely empty street. But as you said, all these cars are here to protest a planned development. That development's going to be right here on this lot. This is about 3 acres, and what is proposed here is kind of a mixed thing with some 3-story buildings with businesses on the bottom, condos on the 2nd and 3rd floors, 75 units almost in total on that 3 acres. These vehicles have created here what they think will happen when this gets built. They say there's nowhere near enough room for this kind of thing and nowhere near enough parking spots. They think it'll be a perpetual traffic jam right here in this neighborhood that's predominantly single-family homes on large lots.
This is our South Weber. This is our city.
Corinne Johnson and several dozen allies are out to take their city back. A quiet, rural town, they see a wave of development across the Wasatch Front that they don't like.
Small communities who aren't aware that this can happen. We had no idea that a commercial and residential unit could even
be home to multiple 3-story buildings, businesses on the bottom, condos on the top, nearly 75 of them in all. Corinne says they just don't fit.
This is a primarily quiet bedroom community with all neighborhoods and single-family homes.
Opponents don't think this narrow road can handle all the extra traffic, and they say initial plans don't have near enough parking spots. Today, they've staged a park-in, creating the conditions they believe the project will create.
Cars in overflow are going to be parked along this road, and even with only a few cars here already, we're already seeing like major congestion in the area.
The certain rights of the property owner.
City Manager David Larson says he understands their frustration, but the city, he says, is bound by the law.
All we can do is process the application according to the zoning laws on the books. We don't have the ability to change zoning anymore.
When city officials approved the zone change here 2 years ago, there was a possibility of commercial and residential, but most of the discussion was about a daycare.
It feels like they're getting something different than we bargained for.
Still, he says the laws were followed: applications, fees, public meetings, and those can't be reversed.
The units that are allowed on the property, that decision was made back 2 years ago with the zoning of the piece of property. However, the voice is being heard.
I did reach out to the developer today to get his comment on what's going on here. He did not get back to me, at least by the time we did this shot. Also, one thing that the city did say, they're in the process now of updating their general plan, which is kind of a long-term look at what's going to go in the city and where. They invite the public to be a part of that process. That is involved with shaping some of the zones that would allow something like this. Guys, back to you.
My journey